One of the hardest parts after a breakup is waiting for something that just never arrives. It might be an explanation or an apology or a conversation that finally helps you to make sense of what's happened. And the longer you wait, the more stuck you might be feeling. In a minute, I want to go through and explain why we look for closure and what we can do if we don't get it. So after a long time relationship ends, it's really natural to want answers. We want to know, why did they leave? What changed? Um, so because we're desperate for those questions to be answered, we start to have conversations in our mind. We're replaying things we said in the past. We imagine what we might say if we had the chance to say it. Maybe we're waiting for them to say something that's going to make us feel a bit of relief. But when that doesn't happen, when it doesn't come, it can feel like we're really stuck and we can't move forward. We can't move on unless we finish this unfinished business. I want you to understand that closure rarely comes from the person who left you. Like, it really doesn't. Not because you don't deserve to have closure, but because that person who caused your wound is not going to be able to heal you as well. They may not understand themselves why they left. They may avoid discomfort of the conversation. They may rewrite the story completely to cope with things. So waiting for closure from them often keeps you stuck and unable to move on. I'm just wondering, are you stuck with something? Is there something you are waiting to help you feel like there's closure? And let me know in the comments. Is there something that you think, if my ex could say this, or if I could say this, that would help me move forward instead of feeling so stuck? Or let me know how long you felt stuck. And if you are feeling that way, I want you to understand that closure doesn't come from understanding them. It just doesn't. It comes from understanding yourself. And I want to give you 4 things that I know are going to help you if you're struggling with letting go because there's no closure. So the first thing is, understand what you're really waiting for. Like, really understand what it is. Because some of us go, I just want them to listen. I want them to hear. I want them to explain. I want them to apologize. It's not just answers that we're looking for. It's actually relief. It's the hope that they'll say something that finally helps make sense of what is going on. And that is going to be the thing that's going to stop it hurting so much. But I need you to understand that answers do not always bring relief. In fact, often they don't. Most of the time, they just create more questions. The second thing is, build a working explanation that doesn't rely on them. You don't need the full truth from them to move forward. You need an explanation that is good enough that you can live with. And maybe it's something like this. This relationship is over and it ended without clarity that I really wanted. Maybe that doesn't feel very satisfying to you, but it is stabilizing. It will help you feel a bit more stable and help you begin the process of moving on. The third thing is to shift your goal from understanding to regulation, to feeling emotionally regulated and more calm and more able to cope. Your mind is searching for answers because your body is feeling really unsettled and your body is looking for ways of calming. So instead of chasing answers, do what actually settles you down physically. Stop replaying those stories. Interrupt the thought patterns. Stop checking your phone. Stop pulling the whole relationship apart at 2:00 in the morning. And I can hear you going, yeah, Debbie, good, that's great. You try. There are ways of doing that. You'll find information about that in the description of this video and up in my store if you're looking for stuff. Or come along to one of my live calls and I'll answer questions about it and give you live strategies. So come along to those. The bottom line is, pulling these things apart at 2 a.m. are not going to help you. What is going to help you? Well, more ordinary days help. Ordinary days, what's that? Having lunch, dinner, breakfast, eating meals that you would normally eat, doing the same walks that you've done for many times, just go around the block, go to a walking space that feels good to you, having the same bedtime and same bedtime routine. It's not going to fix anything, but it kind of fixes your nervous system because it helps your nervous system go, okay, there are some things I can rely on. There are some things that no matter what happens will stay the same, and your body really needs that. When life feels steadier, the questions start to dissipate and eventually will disappear. They just stop running the show. They stop being front and center and give you the space to just slow down and deal with the grief of the relationship ending. So if you're stuck in the loop of unanswered questions, then look in the description of this video. In there, I've put links for you, links to resources for you. If you're not very techie, I get it. So if you don't know how to find things on my channel, just tell me in the comments and I will come and find you and try and work it out with you. I'm doing my best here too when it comes to tech. So just let me know and I'll help if I can. And other people will come and help because other people are really helpful, I find. You might not get closure from the person who left you. And that doesn't mean you have to stay stuck forever. It means it's time to stop waiting for something that quite possibly is never going to come. Closure is not a conversation, it's a decision. And you're allowed to make it without the other person's permission. In fact, that's really important. If you are struggling after heartbreak and you would like some help, I have my Heartbreak to Healing series here on YouTube. I'll put the videos here for you. You can either click on the image, or again, I'll put the links down in the description for you. And again, if you're not techie like me, do not fret. Sing out in the comments and I will try and help you. And as I said, I'm sure other people will too. What I want you to know is this is a process that can take up to 2 years. You just need to take it steady and slowly, one step at a time. I'm looking forward to helping you guide you through that process. Take care of yourself.